I've noticed a very worrying trend on the internet. For the gameplay, I have Stardew Valley. Way back, before 2016, cringe culture was a thing on the internet. I remember watching Mr. Beast's worst intro series. I never watched Leafy, thank fuck. But yeah, it was obvious that, like, from what I remember of Mr. Beast, the worst intro series, he wasn't trying to make fun of children, but we were kind of laughing at them, unfortunately. He had to end that because of YouTube's guidelines, I'm pretty sure, and it also was just kind of morally wrong because people would harass the kids and they're just children. Even if they were adults, it doesn't matter. It's still wrong. Not saying it's Mr. Beast's fault that people are going out and doing that, but anyway. After YouTube changed their guidelines and people like Leafy really kind of fell off, I want to say around 2020-ish, a lot of people started making claims that cringe culture is dead. It doesn't matter. Do what you want, be weird. And I definitely agree with that statement. I've had to bite the bullet many times in my life. I have a history of being made fun of and all sorts of stuff like that. But as you know, cringe culture never really died. It just changed, especially 2020, TikTok was, gaining a lot of traction, and TikTok back in the day was a lot more cringe than it is now. Why is that? I have no clue. But people would make videos saying TikTok is cringe, delete it. Like, what is this? What is that? It's worse than Vine, blah, blah. I actually remember when it was Musical.ly, but either way. The trend I've noticed now isn't necessarily even cringe culture. It's not, kids being weird or teenagers being weird, adults being weird. It's genuinely policing what people like and don't like, what people should and shouldn't like. And it's not things that are like moral or immoral. No. I'm referring to like music artists, humor. Specifically what I'm thinking of from the top of my head is quote unquote silly car humor. Do I have it? No. But I love watching cat videos, and if you ever watch a cat video, I hope on any platform, you can go into the comments and people are talking about how adorable it is, and I wouldn't say that they're speaking in like ooh speak or whatever, but everyone's just having a fun time. But the amount of people who see those comments and get furious is insane. Another way to put it is artist humor. Everything has to be labeled corny these days, which I think is just ridiculous. If you simply word something a specific way, people will get angry. People who like using the hamster image, it's like a drawn over photo of that like hamster picture, and people are using it on TikTok, and people are like, oh my god, like, I'm so sick of it, it's terrible, stop. Like, you don't have to like certain things, but it's different when you're encouraging people, especially something harmless as a hamster photo, referring to a cat as a car, like whatever it is. I even saw someone say that there are people who have Valve humor or TF2 humor, which is very old school, by the way. But like, come on. I'm seeing, of course, it's mostly people who are younger, probably in middle school, just entering high school. But I'm even seeing it amongst adults, If you say you like a certain artist, people will just roll their eyes and, be like, oh my god, you are either trying to be different or you're a poser, I don't know, this is somewhat off topic, but it's somewhat related. If you fit into a certain stereotype, there's enough amount of people who have a problem with that. It's funny when like people joke about it. Like, I think it's called like septum ring theory. It's a joke. It's like a running joke that women who wear septum rings are like, they behave a certain way. I have no clue. I gotta be honest, I forgot what I was saying. Anyway, there are truth to certain stereotypes. Sure, there are people out there who fit into a stereotype. But just because you like a specific thing doesn't mean instantly you fit in this box, that you are whatever. I like listening to Slipknot. Oh my god, you're a poser. Oh my god, their music sucks because they're like the go-to heavy metal band. Oh, it's not metal, it's new metal. Whatever. Okay, I like Sepultura. You're trying to be different. You're just trying to be different, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I, my problem that I'm specifically pointing out is that people are genuinely policing, like a large amount of people are policing what I guess like the humor or popular, like it's ridiculous. I don't know how else to really put it. People are policing more, and it's like, well, if everything is corny, then what are you supposed to do? I think people are just so afraid of being perceived these days. I actually saw a TikTok about this person who works with voice actors and how she feels like voice acting has changed. Again, she's referring to like people in their 20s and 30s. I remember that specific TikTok. She was saying how voice acting isn't the same anymore because voice acting is inherently cringe and weird. Okay, and people aren't willing to be cringe and weird and really get out there. If you've ever seen footage of voice actors and voice actresses and all of that, they do some weird stuff. You know, the way that they move their body, they really get in character and stuff like that. It's really worrying because it's one thing when it's like, okay, you know, kids being kids, whatever. But I'm seeing it amongst older people as well. I'm seeing it amongst just the internet as a whole. Everything is being labeled corny. You know, people are just putting people in stereotypes and boxes and stuff like that. And it's like, just let people do what they want to do. As long as it's not morally wrong or harmful or anything like that, just let people do it. Like, come on.